In our life, we have one rule.
Do not fuck this up.
Always back up each other,
We have to get to Miami.
no matter what.
I said, look at me.
It's the one thing we know well.
I want to speak to Cinch.
No matter what happens tonight, I'll them both dead. With the goal. Figure it.
But sometimes,
I want you to listen here with the briefcase.
that's not enough.
Alright. Where is it? Where to bring it from?
Sometimes we hide the things from each other. And instead of protect us, it will harm us.
What's this?
I'm Jennifer Joy OGrady, and I play Scarlett in Dawn of Retribution, which is directed by Freddy Rodriguez. When I first read the script, I was very intrigued with her character because it was a very mysterious character, and then of course we discover she's this powerful lead of the story, and so I was really excited to play her and kind of. At first, I wasn't sure all the layers that she had, but once I was working with you, Freddie, and working with the other characters, I really delved into all these complex layers that she had going on in her story and in her past and her life. And when I found out that I got the role, I was so excited. It was I know it might sound cheesy, but it was a dream come true for me. And I actually had a dream I think the week before that you told me I got the role, before you ever told me I got the role.
Guys, we're going
and then you told me and I was like, oh my god, my dream came true, literally. So yeah, it was an amazing experience.
Call him!
She's an independent woman, but at the same time, so she's strong, but at the same time she has a good heart, and I love that about her. And the most important person in her life is Mike, is her brother, and I could definitely relate to that. My family is very important to me, but also she's a different character because I have my parents, and so it really took me to a place of what would happen if I never had them, if I lost my parents at a young age, if certain things happened to me that happened to her. So I kind of had to step into her shoes and imagine what if my life was like hers in order to get to that place. But I saw Lewis, who played Mike, as a brother figure. It was an interesting process because my character is very different from Mike and Lauren's relationship, as far as Scarlett and Lauren's relationship, or lack thereof relationship, because my character really doesn't really want anything to do with him, and she tries to stay out of whatever they got going on. She doesn't really want to be a part of it, but she's still supportive of him, and she's kind of along for the ride. But when it comes to Lawrence, for me, I think it's just out of protection, just stay away from him and stay out of it. And of course, she doesn't like the way that he kind of talks down to her, and of course he backs her up, but still it's a very weird triangle and dynamic, because you have a lot of different relationships between each of us. And with Lawrence, it was interesting because Mike, who plays Lawrence, he's a nice guy, and I always felt I had to block myself from him as the character.
How you doing, guys? My name is Luis Santiago, and I'm portraying Mike Saver in the movie Dawn of Retribution. The story, he was a nomad. He had no permanent home. He was always moving about, and he didn't know what he wanted until he found it was instant onset chemistry that we had, and I just knew she's gonna be a great sister, and since I'm the older one, I'm always gonna poke fun at her. So we used that and then we put that laughter and then that crying that we worked on, we put it in here. We worked on it, and that transferred to the camera. He was someone I looked up to, all right? And being much older than me, and he was already a street guy, and I needed somebody to look up to. But at the same time, I have my sister, and she means the world to me. And then for somebody else, an outsider to come in, and from the beginning, I set the rules with him. I set the tone, made sure, look, we're cool and all, but never touch my sister because I will kill you. So just doing research on other roles and looking at other relationships with brothers, bigger brothers, or whether it be brothers and sisters. I was like 25% sure because I kept getting callbacks to audition with different actors and actresses. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's a good side, because usually it's either a callback or no callback, pretty much. But as soon as Juliette called me, she told me that I got the role as Mike Saver. And I was excited, just like my sister. There's some correlation to my history because I was almost raised in an orphanage. I also lived in the streets as a kid. And, remember, these are things that I never forget. It was pretty. It's like we were already brothers and sisters from another what is this generation series? Because we clicked, we instantly clicked, and we're like here talking to each other like we're confidants and brothers and sisters already, like from the get-go.
It sounds like
we were
Snake,
just
you know?
play, fight, you know. And it all starts with the adrenaline of going into that scene, not knowing what's gonna happen. You're going in there, you're turning in exchanging the briefcase, and it just became second nature. That when we were ready to roll on set, we were ready. And that was awesome. That was a great feeling, knowing that those 3 months that we rehearsed was so freaking worth it.
Hi guys, my name is Mike Bruno. I played the role of Lawrence in the movie Dawn of Retribution. I felt very comfortable with the character known as Lawrence right away, studying his upbringing, the way he carries himself and the hobbies that he's into. It's a very dark character. I watched a lot of characters in movies similar to him growing up, so it was a perfect fit for me, I believe. My approach when it comes to crafting the character known as Lawrence, looking up his background, seeing how he was brought up, and knowing that he's an assassin and he's into quoting the Bible, he's very into God. To myself, get in a dark place as well. And my professional background for 12 years as a pro cage fighter, you have to seclude yourself. You have to give yourself up to loneliness and fear nothing and work hard. And that helped me get into character as Lawrence and portray that darkness in every scene.
I got you.
My relationship with Mike consists of we grew up together in foster care, and I'm taking him under my wing. I'm grooming him, I'm showing him the ropes, I'm pretty much teaching him how to be bad. You could still see the good in him every now and then with some of the decisions he makes and some of the lines that he says, but I'm pretty much grooming him, kind of like I'm corrupting him, and making sure he gets the job done before we could proceed further. You know, telling him how to whack someone if he's got to stab him or if he's got to shoot him, and he pretty much just got taken under my wing, and he's like a little brother to me in the film. Working with Lewis was a walk in the park. He has a background in film and in theater. I have a background in just being on camera my whole life, so with his professional background, he was kind of giving me tips here and there on things what to do, and it was being around a breath of fresh air. And we got together a lot off set to form that camaraderie, to see what it was like, how we could mesh well together on screen, and I think we did a great job. Month by month, with the process of character development, learning about the character, talking the talk and walking the walk. When that time came to finally shoot, it was as if all the stars were aligned, and it becomes like riding a bike almost. I was just dialed in, and I was just in tune with my character and my lines, and you become one with the character, and you go to that zone, you get into that special place, and it becomes easy. The locations of filming were quite unique. We had a bunch of scenes in the Everglades, and then a bunch of scenes in the city of downtown Miami, which was very cool and very different for the people to like visually be stimulated with the eye candy. First you see nature, then you're seeing city buildings, and it was quite different. I liked it a lot. A lot of beautiful shots with the sun setting. And you could also tell something crazy was going down. You know, not anyone's just going to be in the Everglades for any reason. You know, it looks like it's a scene where someone's going to get, you know, put away to where you can't find them for a long time. Working with Freddy was great. Freddy's not a little guy, he's a big guy. You kind of, you know, you don't want to piss him off. He could be intimidating at times, even when he yells quiet on the set, you know, you don't want to frown him or act up, because you know, you see his happy face, but you don't want to see that angry side of Freddy. And you know, and same with Egon back there. You don't want to see these guys get pissed. So, you know, you gotta do the right thing for them as if they're doing the right thing for you all day long, making sure you know what you're doing when you get on set and get in front of that camera. So just to be in front of strong figures like that, you don't want to mess up, and just knowing that their expertise is getting put to you, you know, you want to do what they say, and then you see the craft get unfolded. All the little tips here and there, you see the character, you see the story unfold right before your eyes. There's a couple of little funny lines here and there in the midst of all the series. For instance, I only have one line to Scarlett the whole movie, and I gained a tremendous amount of knowledge from being with production and being on this film set. Being green and being new to this industry, it's the perfect way to get my feet wet. I got a lead role as an assassin, something that is right up my alley. I had a great coach to guide me along the way step by step, who didn't hesitate to answer any questions, and I didn't hesitate to ask any. And through his guidance, I just see a bright future in this business.
Hello, I am Miguel Miller. I was the assistant director for Dawn of Retribution, a film directed by Freddy Rodriguez. It was my first action film. I've done all kinds of films before, but I've been wanting to do action. And this brought a lot of challenges to the ability to shoot in location as we move, the ability to move and shoot at the same time, the challenges that presented to gather people from in location that were not actually actors and help produce that was fantastic. Pre-production was really good. The first, you know, and most of all, we had to achieve the director's vision. So from the beginning, the director was very clear about what he wanted. And working with Freddy, it's easy because Freddy doesn't get on your way. Freddy tells you, this is what I expect from you. This is what are we trying to achieve. He lets you do your job. If you are having an obstacle, Freddy is very open to help you solve that problem. But for the most part, he stays out of your way. He lets you work. And for me, as a filmmaker, having to solve problem is an inspiring part of what I do. Having to get together and say, okay, so this location is not going to work. We have to move to another location. We have to move a table. How we're going to move this table before we actually shoot. That process, and know that we did it, gives me a sense of fulfillment. It makes me bigger. It makes me stronger. So pre-production was great. Production was even better. Every time we finished shooting, we couldn't go away. One day we finished shooting at 5 a.m. and it was like 7:30, and we finished shooting and we were still there talking about, oh my gosh, do you remember this shot? Oh my gosh, do you remember that? So that is magic. It's just amazing, adrenaline driven to say the least.
Hi, my name is Juliette Asa. I'm the producer of Dawn of Retribution, directed and written by no other than Freddy Rodriguez. My experience on set with the production has been wonderful, and overall from the administrative part to the creative part, and trying to manage people where to go, where not to go, to tell them the time, managing how to transport cards, to get all the equipment until there, to be sure that everything that we take there, it's safe and it's proper, and people are okay with their surroundings, since we were in an exterior directly with Mother Nature. It was really, really huge experience and very interesting all of the way. Connected with Mother Nature in a sense that we have to deal with the timing to be there in a good time to get the sunset at the moment that we need it, to have the airboat ready for the sunset or magic hour to happen. And it was challenging, more than difficult, challenging, because it was challenging, but it was fun. It was fun. The crew was up to the challenges. We did what we had to do. We shot every scene that we had to do in every single set that we had to be in it. And it was fun. It was fun. We wanted to be there through the sun, through the mosquitoes, through the dark, through the sunsets, in every possible way. We got those beautiful images, and it was a team effort. The director, well, I believe in his talent, I believe in his expertise, and I believe in his vision, the way he wanted to do it, and the way he wrote the story and how he wanted to express it on the screen. It is fun to work with him. It's a lot of experience that I'm getting from him, and it was really, really good to see how his vision came alive.
Sound is ready. It's rolling. Camera rolling. Speed. Call him.
Dawn of Retribution, Scene 4, I take 2.
Yo, what's going on, guys? My name's Craig Giddens. I'm playing the part of John. I'm here in the Everglades, and we're having a great time out here playing John in Dawn of Retribution here in the Everglades. We're making movies.
So how did you get hooked up on this job?
How did I get hooked up? Actually, my landlord is the assistant director, so I kind of lucked out. But I'm in acting class right now. This is officially my first film, and pretty excited about that. The set is dope. We're out here in the Everglades. I'm an old Florida, Georgia boy, so I love that. I'm a nature kind of guy. So I grew up in a similar area in Central Florida. Not quite as many alligators, but you know.
Hi, I'm Enoch Stephan Jr., the director of photography for Dawn of Retribution, directed by Freddy Rodriguez. As a director of photography, it's very complicated sometimes when you're working on tight schedules and crews, and I sort of try to take over all the difficult problems so the director doesn't have to think about those things. So he has so many things on his mind, I have to sort of run the set to make it work right, and also to create a look that's going to be something that he's pleased with. I mean, I just can't do it my own way. I have to do a lot of homework with them, and any director, to read the script, go to locations, see pictures, try to foresee what you're going to be needing. And certain information after I had said yes to do the project became online to me and aware as it started to go. And then they says, okay, we're shooting nights. And it was like, nights, that's even fun. And then he goes, and we're shooting out in the middle of the Everglades. Ah, well, okay. So at first I said, well, we're gonna need a lot of lights and a generator. And he was like, no, I'm not so sure about that. And we did get a lot of equipment that we brought out there. We used HMIs at night through diffusions. We had a full 3-ton truck. We had pretty much all the toys we could use that we couldn't fail with. You know, now it becomes like our own homework of locations, of how the productions run smoothly. I mean, we were changing from one location to another, and then the 3-ton truck tire blew out. You know, that was another one. And then we just set up all the equipment, and it starts raining. And it rains on everything. And then we're wet, and it's nighttime. And then at one point, all of a sudden, we had a cold front in Miami. And there's a picture of me sitting on an apple box with a jacket on, because it was like dropping down to like in the 40s with a wind chill, and we were, you know, no sleep. Maybe by the time you get home, and you know, after you're going through what you need to do and how many pages of dialogue you have to be filming and making sure you have all the right equipment. Then when we get out to the Everglades, we're like on a ladder 30 feet up in the air, following a car come in. So it's a lot of things that were challenges, and then it turns out that we shot all night, and then we were going to shoot a morning shot. Some people were like passing out in their cars in the interim right before that dawn time, because we were already set up ready to go, and then that perfect time that was happening, the cast was right on the money. They knew how much was added. Some people were, we're all tired, we're exhausted, we're dirty, we're filthy. We've unloaded and loaded trucks, set up lights, set up all different types of sets, and still we all had the passion. That was nice because the crew that was together was all believing in the same thing, and that helps out. You have a number of experienced people, and then the other people that come along board. As long as they're on the same page, we're in the amazing business. We can do pretty much anything. I mean, we're creating illusions, and we're also telling stories. So we have to do it with lighting and techniques and a lot of communication. There has to be a lot of communication with everything, and sort of to roll with the punches, because sometimes you have the best plan that's going to happen. We're going to start this day here and eat lunch at that time, and yeah, right, okay, that all changed. And then of course at night when you're using lights, every single bug in the world is going to come out in the Everglades. I mean, at one point this bug about that big flew into my face. It was crawling on my ear, and I thought somebody was messing around until I did this, and it was a monster. So it was like, what are we doing here? But I really believe in Freddy, so we communicated a lot. Looked at pictures. I would always throw something past him and say, are you open to this? Are you green thumbs up? And he'd say, sometimes let me change something here, change something there. We'd do maybe a rehearsal and then make some modifications. And always as a cameraman, to be working with more than one camera, normally you set up a shot for one angle, but then you need to get coverage. So you have to think about where you're going to put the light, and also having another camera operator and multiple other operators that can put in their 2 cents worth and actually intuitively know where to be, what you're shooting, so they don't match the same shot, and that you kind of all work together, that before you move on, the director looks at everything and says, okay, good, and we start to go on. Well, normally my job is that I have
I'm going to be right here. You just tell me when to push the button.
Idea,
no. He's going to go out.
He's going to
go. That's what I was telling him.
And then
so when he goes out,
what
he's
type
going
of
to get out that door?
What are the requirements? What are the requirements for the equipment? The right tool for the right job.
Go there again.
And then what you can afford, because sometimes you can't afford everything. So then you have to, sort of hack it a little bit. Hack the life. You have to do whatever. I've lit scenes with just candles, and then I've lit scenes with all these lights. It depends on what you have for the project, and then having a team with you. So since my job is to really bring that forward, and also to be sort of the leader, so when he's busy and he's working and he's got everybody calling Freddy, the two names I hear the most is Freddy and mine, because then somebody from my side saying Egon, and I have to say, well, not my choice, but let me ask Freddy, when it originated from him writing it 4 years ago. And then going over, all that, he's gone over it and over and over it, where it's a part of him. Now, all of us as a crew that have to now come together on the same page to execute that. And that's what I think is wonderful in this business, is the collaboration. When it works, it's fantastic. When it doesn't, it's sure hell. But if you can push through that and still get to the better place, that's always the mission that we try to do.
Okay. Mi nombre es Pedro Bellorín, o Peter Bellorín. Quiero conversar un poquito sobre nuestra película. Una película que es un thriller, es una acción y tiene un toque de drama. Es una película en el cual hay 3 personajes principales, en el cual 2 son hermanos y uno es un gran amigo del hermano. Ellos son huérfanos. Por lo tanto, hay como una hermandad entre ellos en la vivencia, en las experiencias que van a pasar en Dawn of Retribution, o La venganza al amanecer. Es una película muy interesante porque la hemos trabajado desde el corazón y desde la pasión. Hemos manejado el mercadeo de los productos que de alguna forma tienen mayor incisión o mayor audiencia, ¿okay? Tanto en telespectadores como en el cine. La película es un thriller donde hay mucha acción en todos los sentidos. Desde que comienza estás incurso, suspendido a la vez en situaciones distintas que te llevan una a la otra sin esperar un down, o decir, una bajada o una calma. Siempre tiene un pico que va subiendo, va subiendo, va subiendo. Es una película que toca cosas muy interesantes y para nosotros es un ficción, pero quién sabe si estamos tocando alguna realidad. Una situación en la cual estos tres personajes se consiguen con una maleta en la cual es robada. Este personaje que luego, y no quiero por supuesto contarlo todo lo de la película, les dice a dónde deben entregar este material o este maletín como tal. Por supuesto, de muchísima acción, de aventura, de drama, ¿okay? Hay un desenlace, se genera muchísimo suspenso, es una película de mucha acción, es una película de mucho suspenso, ¿okay? De drama, pero con mucho movimiento. No es una película que tú vas a sentir, que la vas a sentir estática, ¿okay? Sino con mucha dinamismo. Es una película de Freddy, en el cual nos invitó a un grupo a estar con él. Es una película que tenemos un gran amigo en común que es Egon. A nivel de mercadeo ya la estamos trabajando tanto en las ferias como Napi, Micon, Cancún, para LA Screening y otras ferias más para que la estamos presentando ahorita en este inicio. Pensamos que para el 2019 ya la podemos tener acoplada y terminada, Dios mediante. Creo que es una película que posiblemente algunos estudios grandes le puedan interesar, porque creo que tiene la fórmula adecuada, ¿okay? Que es dinamismo, es un thriller, es una película, el buen cine está acostumbrado dentro de Estados Unidos o América Latina, además de Europa y Asia. La música, los efectos, estamos buscando siempre lo mejor de lo mejor, la mejor gente que le mete pasión, le mete corazón. Yo realmente como productor ejecutivo dentro de la película apoyo a 100% al director, que es Freddy. Es un joven al que aprecio y quiero muchísimo, es una persona que tiene el camino claro y el foco claro de lo que él quiere hacer, ¿no? Y este es el principio simplemente de muchísimas cosas que vienen y que Dios mediante espero que les guste.
Hi guys, my name is Freddy Rodriguez. I'm the director of Dawn of Retribution, and I hope so you guys like it and enjoy it. For me, it's very important to listen, no? Because, I have the script and I have the story to tell, and this is what I wanted to do. If you shut yourself and you don't listen to other people, I think you fail to that. And every time and every day that I go on set, I'm listening to everybody and making sure that your voice is heard in terms of the vision of the film. So for me, that's very important. For me, I cannot make a film by myself. So going through the story on set is very particular because I work with Egon and I admire him and I admire his work. He's an amazing guy and cinematographer. And I really didn't feel anything in terms of the look of the film. I didn't feel that, I didn't feel worried about it. I was really calm. But when it comes to my performance with my actors, and I was on top of them to make sure that I got everything on point for Egon or for the second camera or the Steadicam. So yes, you have to rely on people and trust people. I mean, that's my main, I trust people around me, and I hope and I know they trust me as well when I make decisions. I mean, being a filmmaker is hard. It's hard, a lot of work. But you know what? At the end of the day, when you're on set, it's everything goes away. It's like you want to just continue until you get the shot, you get the scene, you get the performance that you can see on the film. So for me, it's an amazing feeling. I cannot describe that, but I know that the person or the people, they connect with what I'm saying, It feels the same way. I wrote it like 4 years ago, and I have the opportunity this year. But for me, when I wrote it, it was very ambitious. Loved the story. I fell in love with the character. I started developing the situations between them, the obstacles that they have, how the story progressed. It's a process, and I love that process. You guys are amazing. I wish you the best, and we're gonna work together soon. Thank you guys. Love you guys.
You are happy with it?
Yeah, I'm great.
All right, guys. Is it a wrap?
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
No matter what happens tonight, if we don't come out with that money, I want you to disappear with that briefcase.
I can't leave you behind. We're in this together.
Don't argue with me, kiddo. Just do as I say. Promise?
Turn over here and make a left on Miami Avenue.
I'm sorry, brother, but we're in this together. Whatever happens, it's on us.
You see that guy on the side of the bar?
Yes.
That's one of the guys that belongs to Zinj. Stay in the car, you know what to do. And you too. I'll be right back. I got it. I want to talk to Zinj.
Why are you alone?
No, I got collateral.
Okay, follow me. Stay put.
Before I bring it to you, let me tell you a story. When God created heaven and earth, He said, "Let there be light." And He separated the light from the darkness.
It's a wrap. All right. Woo! All hands on deck. Pick up equipment, please. Everybody to help get all the equipment.
Sound and then I'm gonna put away sound and then I'm